Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Tori Creates podcast. Honestly, I don't know which number this is because I've already filmed part of this. So, hello. This is going to be a weird episode because it is going to be a few days combined. I filmed an episode maybe a month and a half ago, maybe as much as that, maybe more. And I never edited it and put it out. So not a lot, but I have done a decent amount since I filmed that. So I'm just going to tack it on to this episode. It's going to be a really long one. So make sure you grab a snack and a beverage like some iced tea. If it's warm like it is here, it's almost 80 degrees today. It's supposed to cool off because we're supposed to get some weather. So I see clouds moving in. The color might get a little funky from today's footage, but we'll see. But yeah, I've got some things to show, so we're just going to kind of cobble this together, and then hopefully I can get into a good routine. We'll see. I've kind of just been filming podcasts when the mood moves me because I was getting a little overwhelmed by having to specifically edit a podcast every other week and then every month. It was just like, I don't know, the editing is what gets me. So we'll see. We'll see if we can just go back to a more chill, sit-down video that takes a lot less editing, and if that will stick, and we'll go from there. But yeah, for now, enjoy the video. Hello, and welcome to an episode of the Tori Creates podcast. It has been a hot minute. This is episode 65. It is February 24th. It is a Friday. I have the day off as a treat to myself after some chaotic days at work. But yeah, I figured that since I haven't been so great at even vlogging, because honestly, I like the result, but it takes so long to edit that I just burn out, that I have some vloggy bits from like Christmas, I think still. I think that's where we're still sitting from the last time I posted. So maybe I'll insert some of them at the end today, but for the most part, we're just going to move back to a normal vlog situation podcast situation, because I have a lot to share today, including an entire basket of finished objects. And if you hear the pitter patter of feet, not so small feet, that is Captain, which you will have seen at the beginning because he decided that he wanted to make a cameo appearance. Are you gonna? Yeah, okay, yeah, You can see his schnoz in the bottom there. But yeah, we are just gonna go right into finished objects. I don't know. Thank you for the toy. He picks a squeaky toy now. All right, yeah, okay. He's just like, who are you talking to? And they can have my squeaky toy. It's going to be a little disjointed today because I am by myself. Justin is at work. Go get it. He's just like, no. And he's just like, I clearly need to help you with this, Mom. And I'm like, I know, Captain. I know you want to help. He's sniffing everything right now. Yeah, hi. I know. But anyway, I don't know if I'll hit this out or not, and I apologize if I'm looking back and forth. I am filming it on my phone again because it's a little easier right now. Oh, I know I love you too. And we're just gonna get going. We're gonna start with finished objects. I know you're just like, why? But we're gonna start with finished objects. The first one I'm wearing. So this is the So Faded by Andrea Mowry. And you know what? Let's pull up Ravelry on this one because I am not going to remember all the designers on this if I don't at least do that much. Bear with me here. But this is the So Faded by Andrea Mowry. You mean you don't remember my username and password? Well, that's rude. Interesting. Please hold. got it. So, and actually this is great because this is the most recent thing I finished. So we're back. I've got the pattern here. So the first thing I finished is the So Faded by Andrea Mowry. This is one of her many fade patterns. I've been wanting to knit this for a long time, and I just hadn't done it. She suggests using like a bunch of different yarns that you just have a single skein of and you don't know what to do with them, but they're like special skeins, so you use them in a sweater, and that's basically what I did here. I'm going to just get up quick so you can see the color progression. Yeah, and hopefully I'll have a photo to insert. But how long did this take me? Okay, so I started this mid-October and I finished it December 7th, so it's been a hot minute since I've podcasted, clearly, because I don't think I've shown this. If I have, I apologize, but I don't think I've shown this yet. And I used, wow, I didn't even update my project page very well. I don't even have my yarns on there. Interesting. But I used several different colors of yarn. This color, I think, is by 3 Irish girls. Don't know the color name. This one is by Hedgehog Fiber. Again, don't know the color name. And we'll just show my arm so I don't have to get up again. This one is from Camelot Dye Works. This is a Hobby Lobby yarn. And then this is Whimsical Wood Yarn Co. And they were all single skeins that I really, really loved, and I was really trying to save them for something, and I'm like, I should just knit a sweater. And I got a little crazy with this, like, this color change over here. Like, these are pretty seamless, and then it's just, like, it's intense down here, and I was worried when I was knitting it that I wouldn't like it, and I decided to just move forward with it, and if I didn't like it, I could rip it out, and honestly, I have worn this a lot. I wear this to work a lot. So it's just, like, the perfect length sweater. The sleeves are great. Like, I can pull them down over my hands if I want to. It's not too tight around the neck. Like, I just really like this sweater. Like, I'll probably just knit this sweater again in a single color if I'm ever in the mood for and have the need for another sweater like this, which honestly I could see myself doing at some point. Or honestly, you know, the fading really makes sense because I was able to use a bunch of skeins of yarn from my stash that otherwise would have just sat there. So maybe I will fade it again. Yes, Captain, I am talking. Oh, I know. He's chewing on a Chewy. So if you hear clunks, he's chewing on a Chewy. So that was the first thing I finished. Let's just go in chronological order, shall we? Yes, we shall. So then the next thing I finished was the Ruby Beach headband. And this was by Rachel Kaiselberg. I believe that this one was off of Knit Picks as a free pattern. I knit this out of Knit Picks palette. Again, I don't remember the color. I don't know where the tag is. But essentially the idea is that you can tie it. Mine's a little long to tie it this way, but you can just kind of see. You can tie it like this, and they styled it with a bun. So this is the Ruby Beach headband. I've actually worn this to work once. The only thing is it's a little finicky because my head is weird and it doesn't like to keep headbands on it. And this one stays the best, but I'm very self-conscious about it, so I will just stick to wearing it at home. But you can also wear it flipped around. I'm not going to rotate it, but this is the Ruby Beach headband. And I really like it. I really like it. I thought about it. I'm like, that's maybe something I could wear. And I can. I think I just need to stop worrying about does it look dippy and just enjoy wearing it. So I finished that. It was a super quick knit. And I actually blocked this with my steam, what are those called? It's not a steam blocker. Well, it was steam blocked with my steamer because I have a steamer that I actually really do like now. So finished that. Hi. Really? Okay. Then let's see what I started next. Oh, yeah. I made one more headband. And this one was more or less for like outdoors because I've been wearing my hair in a bun more and it's just when it's cold, you can't really wear a hat. So I made the headband with a twist, and this is by, please hold, Morella Moments. This is another free pattern. Oh, he's going to bring his treat ball over here. He wants me to put treats in it. Maybe in a little bit? Huh? Maybe in a little bit? Okay. But this is the headband with a twist. And this is definitely a thicker, more like turban style headband. And it's very warm. This is just some red heart. Okay. Okay. Oh, thank you. Do I need to knit you a headband? Yeah. But this is just a basic, it's red heart. Is it like red heart collage? Is that a thing that they did for a while? I'm sorry, there's like the sun is coming in at a weird angle on and off. So it's got like this texture in it. But this is really chunky because I believe this is a brioche knit, single color brioche. It's very, very like cozy and chunky and so soft. I really like this. So I've worn this a lot. So I finished this. These two items I finished like back to back. I think I was actually knitting them at the same time. So that was the next one. No, I don't want to keep typing. Then I'm just going through the list because I was on a roll for a while. The next thing I finished was Justin had found a pattern and we were at Hobby Lobby. No, he's not for you. I know. I want him. But you can't have him. Okay. We'll do that in a minute. Please hold. All right, we're back. Captain has his treat ball now. I caved. So you're going to hear that. But hopefully he won't try to steal this guy from me. So Justin found this. This was actually a kit from Hobby Lobby. And this is Hollis the Highland Cow. He named him Moo Moo. I could have done some things better. I'm not as super fond of the tail and the way certain things turned out because I feel like he just looks kind of like a monkey. But he's got the horns and he's got the ears. And Justin asked that I add some color to his fur. So it looks like he's got a little fro. Or not a fro, a mohawk. So I added a little lime green per his request. He picked the color. And this is his cow. Fun fact, Justin, my husband, loves cows. Sorry, this is going to be really distracting with him playing with his toy, but it's probably the only way that I'm going to get him to not try to steal this guy. And the next few things that I've got. So actually, the next thing I made was a sweater, but I'm going to skip that. By the way, with the Hollis the Highland Cow, I don't remember who designed it. Again, it was a kit from Hobby Lobby, so I don't know the designer offhand. That's going to be really distracting, isn't it, guys? I'm so sorry. The next thing I have to share, he's jumping like a fox, is I crocheted 2 of the Baby Yoda amigurumi. These are by Larissa Maist at Bee Friends Crochet. And I crocheted 2 of these guys. So I've got 2 Baby Yodas. 1, 2. I have a friend. I know a couple people that are expecting, but my friend's expecting. And I was going to make one for the baby. And I knew that the other kid would just be like, well, where's mine? So I made 2. So these are really cute. I think these turned out decently well. Under their robe, you crochet this little guy. And so like you can take his robe off. I say Baby Yoda, but I mean, he's the child. He's Grogu. That's who this is. I'm not like into that stuff. I just know enough to know what he is, but everybody calls him Baby Yoda. So this is the pattern. I think it's super cute. I had everything except the eyes. I had to order bigger safety eyes so that I could properly make Baby Yoda. But yeah, I made 2 of these guys. So I had to put this project on pause for a little while I was waiting for the baby eyes or for the safety eyes to come in. Typically when I'm making gifts for people and I know that they're going to like a newborn or a small baby, I don't use safety eyes. I embroider the eyes on. But in this case, I knew it just wouldn't look right. Oh, it looked like it stopped recording. In this case, I knew it just wouldn't look right. So I used the safety eyes. And I think this will definitely be worth it. It'll be fine. So 2 baby Yodas. Completed those. Then, let's see. Home stretch, guys. Home stretch. I've got 2 more things. I've got 1 more creature. So this is the egg bear. Again, I've got a few people who are expecting. So I crocheted this for one of them. And I think these are really cute. I didn't use safety eyes on this one, again, for the reason that I don't want anything to come off. Like, everything is sewn really solidly on. There's a little felt piece for the face, and it's all sewn on. Embroidered eyes, embroidered face. This is actually out of a book, which I have sitting here precariously. Let me see if I can see. Lan An Boy and Josephine Wan. It's called Amigurumi. So it is just a crocheted animal book. And I've made this one at least once before, maybe twice, as a gift, just because I felt like it's, it's kind of like a ball. They could chuck it. It's literally just called the Egg Bear. And like, they can throw it, they can play with it, you can throw it in the washer, and it's just like, I think it's like a good size. So I made one of those. And then, last but not least, I knit another sweater. Let's see if I can get this out of here alive. I knit the Throwover by Andrea Mowry. Wow. I wore this recently and I didn't pull the sleeves out. So this is the Throwover by Andrea Mowry. I think this is the front. It's not that big of a difference, but... And I knit this out of Wool of the Andes worsted, their superwash. And I'm just going to have to try to compile all of my show notes because I don't have any of the colors listed anywhere. But this is Wool of the Andes superwash, and I used a brown, and the light's kind of washing it out, but I also used yellow, green, and turquoise. Justin said it looks kind of like Fiesta. And it kind of does, but I like it. I like the colors. I liked how it turned out. So this is just a basic pullover sweater. Nothing too crazy, except there's color work at the top. And it was really fun. I knit this in a month. This sweater took me almost like a month, I think, to the day. With me not working on it every day. And it was a lot of fun. The color work was just like one more row. And this is the first time I had more than 2 colors occasionally in a row. There's a few rows here where there's actually 3 colors going at a time. And it was fine. It wasn't actually that bad. I did this the modified way. I don't knit, I know a lot of people when they do color work, if they knit continental or English style, they just do both. I was controlling all of the yarn out of one hand. It was a little intense, but it worked, and I really like this. And truthfully, this one and this one I never blocked. And in fact, this one, the ends I still need to cut off. This one I just at least cut the ends off inside. But I never blocked either of these. I just immediately wore them. Captain, what are you doing? He is licking his toy. But that is my last finished object. I did a lot. Granted, it's been a long time, so maybe it's not quite as much, knowing the amount of time it's been since I've actually made something. But there you go. And so we're going to take a break quick. I'm going to take the sweater off because it's a little warm. we're going to see if he can stop licking that, because that's probably driving everybody nuts. It's driving me nuts. So, be right back. All right. Next up, we have works in progress. And the first thing I'm going to show is I am crocheting a unicorn for one of my coworkers because she's expecting, and her theme is Enchanted Forest. And she basically said was like, think like, you know, she's doing an alphabet, like G is for garden, U is for unicorn, and she said U is for unicorn, and I'm like, instantly I need to crochet this unicorn. So I found this pattern on Ravelry. It's free. Hopefully you'll be able to see this without too much glare off of the front TV. But this is Sparkles, the Unicorn Sofie by Brenda KB Anderson. It's a free pattern. You'll see that they've got like a lip. I'm omitting the lip, under lip on this guy because I just think it looks a little weird. But I am working on this right now. I have all the body parts made. They're currently in this basket. So I'll get out the feet so you can see what colors I've been using. So I've got a body, I've got a head. This is going to be a big guy. But these are the colors I've been using, like any and all colors under the sun. These are all the feet, or the hooves, excuse me. He's still playing with it. But I used turquoise, lime green, purple. There's like another purple in there, and then orange. And then the inside of the ears are going to be pink, and the horn is yellow. And basically I've got pretty much all the body parts done. I just need to crochet a base for the mane and then start assembling and put on that mane. So this is getting on its way. Really, the only other main project I have going right now is I'm still crocheting a bunch of granny squares, just in this color pattern, with the intent of assembling a weird, like, 70s inspired cardigan, essentially. And I have started assembling this just because I'm winging this. I'm definitely winging this. I don't fully have a pattern that I'm following. So I've started assembling some of the pieces. It's going to be a lot. I don't know if it'll ever go anywhere, or I'll wear it anywhere once it's done. If I really don't like it, I'm just going to make it into a blanket. I'll just fill in all the gaps and make it into a blanket. So I have a plan for it if I don't like it as a cardigan. But I've done quite a bit. I have a lot of squares. I have more that I've crocheted that I need to add into this, sew them together. And that's all just using Red Heart yarn that I've had in my stash. So that I've been working on. I've been working a little bit here and there on my Granny Stripes blanket, and I've been working on a pair of socks, but not much to show on either of those, to be honest. So that's kind of what I've got to show for works in progress. Captain is having a heyday with that toy. He loves it. Pro tip, you can get this treat ball, this blue treat ball off of Amazon. It's not Kong brand. I don't remember what brand it is. But if you buy little marrow bones, I think they're by Milk Bone. They're called little marrow bones. They fit exactly, and he loves it. Also, isn't it cute? Justin got this for me for Christmas. It's got little Westies on it. They're so cute. Little Maisies. I think he needs to go outside. I'll be right back. Okay, he is outside, so it's going to be a little quieter in here for a few minutes. So let's see what I can get through. So those were the only pretty much works in progress I had. So then I had a few stash enhancements to show. And then I've got a few other things I wanted to show. And then we'll kind of wrap it up. We'll see if I can get this out sooner or later. For stash enhancements, we'll start with this. Justin got this for me for Christmas. This is a, a Harry Potter crochet kit. Comes with the patterns to crochet most of the main characters from the Harry Potter series. I think it comes with, the kit includes the materials to make Harry and Dobby, so I'm probably going to be making Dobby right away, if we're being honest. But yeah, you can make a whole bunch of characters. There's a whole bunch of patterns. It's really cool. I haven't started this yet because I've got so many baby knits that I'm doing. I'm still planning on doing like a sweater for one of the babies and another critter. So I've got a bunch of stuff going on. So I haven't started any of these yet, but I really want to start them. And then the other thing I got was this last year, I did indeed get a yarn advent calendar. I ended up getting the Sweet Sparrow Knits yarn advent calendar, which was really special because I wasn't sure if I was going to get one, and I ended up getting a yarn advent calendar, and I was very excited. This was really cool. It came with a few extras, like this little like recycled paper notebook, which I'm going to use for like project notes and stuff. And then it came with a pouch. I believe this is her design. A little zipper pouch. It's the perfect size. I've got stuff in here because I've actually got a lot of the stuff that came with it. Little extras. And then it was 24 mini skeins and a full skein on the 25th. So I'll just show you all the extras because I've eaten a few things out of here, but it came with a bunch of like packets of tea. Each day had one extra of some kind. There were a few little like stamp type things for like journaling. There were some candies in here, which I'm glad I'm finally showing this because now I can eat all of them. One day you got this beautiful pair of scissors. I haven't even used it yet because she had it like very carefully taped so it wouldn't like break through anything. But this super cool pair of scissors. I'm so excited for these. And then there were a bunch of stitch markers. So let me get all of this out of here. Oh, you know what? Oh, no, that's not what that was. I was thinking that was something else. Okay. So then there were a bunch of stitch markers. So from this advent calendar, you got her this year's Sweet Sparrow Knits enamel pin, which I think is gorgeous. And then you got a bunch of these like just basic bulb stitch markers. And then we got 4 more specific stitch markers. So we got a snowflake. I'm bad at this. A snowflake. There we go. We got an acorn. Oh, it's so cute. It's not going to focus, is it? No. A bee. I love this. It's so cute. And I think this one's my favorite from this advent calendar of the stitch markers. Honeycomb. It's so cool. I've never seen one like this. So I really like this one. Honeycomb. And then we got a whole bunch of yarn. Actually, I have one other thing in here that I threw in here because I've been using it a lot too. For my birthday, I'd gotten some money and I finally ordered. I've been wanting to order this forever. It's a stitch marker from Simply Serving on Etsy. And she does a lot of vlogs and stuff. I don't know if this guy's going to focus, but I'm just going to do this for a minute. She does a lot. These are all polymer clay charms. She does a lot of other stuff too, but she's always, every year she puts out a few nutcrackers, and I've really wanted one. A lot of you maybe know, my mom was obsessed with nutcrackers. She had nutcrackers everywhere for Christmas. She'd decorate the house like a winter wonderland, and there were nutcrackers all over the house. And I've got my own little collection now, but she has, every year she comes out with a different one. And the blues I thought were just perfect. Mom would have loved this one. And I really like it. I love this thing. I've used it on so many projects since I got it. She's got different clasp options. I got it with like, this is I think technically an earring clasp. But it's really handy because if you're using it for crochet or knitting, it works. I love it. And yeah, so I got him. But I've had him in here because this is like all my special knitting stuff that I've been using all the time. I've been using the stitch markers. There's probably a stitch marker on a project somewhere that I've been using still, but sorry for the crinkle. I'm going to put all this back because when I let Captain back in, it will be like a tornado. But those are all like little extras and everything. And then we have the yarn. It came really nice. It came like in little pouches and she had it on like twine so you could hang it up. And so I did that, and then she had a card for each day with the color names. I finally went through and took them all out of the color names, or out of the pouches, so I'm not sure which day is which anymore, but I just wanted to use them. This is day 25. It's so pretty. It's such a rich color. And this color is Warm Woolen Mittens. It's her bunting base, which is 100% non-superwash Highland wool, 459 yards. But it's like this red, and honestly, Warm Woolen Mittens. Does this not make you think of like a pair of mittens knit by your grandma? Or someone that you love? I love it. Honestly, I don't know if I'll put this in my blanket or not because I like it so much. I think I want to use it for its own project. And I'm normally not a red person, and she nailed this. I feel like if this is nostalgia right here, this color. And then I don't think you guys are ready for this. This is all of the mini skeins. So I'm just gonna grab these in handfuls and like show you. Some of these colors, like this one, is not as blue as it's showing up. It's a very like light blue, and it's blowing it out a little bit. But here's one round of colors. And I should state this. I specifically got this advent calendar. Justin's chocolatey. I specifically got this advent calendar because I wanted more neutrals and solids for my granny stripe blanket. And I realized that I don't knit with a lot of neutrals and or solids. So I figured I liked her colorways in the past that I've seen, so I figured that this would be a surefire way to get a whole bunch of neutrals and solids to add to it, which it worked out well. The plan worked out well, and her yarn is gorgeous. Like, oh, look at this color. Or this one. There's so many good colors in here. I love it. So now that I've shown you, I can put this in the bin for making my blanket. Some of these might be destined for other things. Like this one's really pretty. But for now, the mini skeins for sure are gonna be destined for a blanket. But I've just had them in this bin for forever. Yeah, that would be technically my stash enhancement. I ordered this back in March of last year, I think. March or April. And I got it end of November. And I have my beautiful advent calendar. She did a fantastic job. I really look forward to starting that or looking at it every day. So, okay. So the last thing I have to show you are a few random things that I just kind of wanted to share because I thought they were interesting or what have you, and I haven't talked to you in a while. So the first two are 2 board games, and the story behind these is I love board games. I'll start with that. I love playing board games, but I often don't have enough people that I can round up to play said board games. Because, life's difficult in the sense that, everybody's got their own lives and there's a lot going on. And Justin is normally not into the board games that I'm into. And I normally like the really intense ones. Well, no. I don't like the really intense ones because there are some games where I try to play them and I'm just like, this is too much. It's not fun anymore. But I like games with a challenge. It's got to be a balance. And then I discovered that some board games are set up so you can play them 1 to 4 players. So I could play this game on my own. And I found 2 of them. I'd had them in my Amazon wishlist for forever. This one is the first one I got. This is Flourish. I mean, truthfully, I haven't played this one yet. I need to play these, but this one is Flourish. It's a 1 to 4 player game, I believe. And this one is basically like based off of gardening. Or like an enchanted garden almost. Whoops. And again, 1 to 4 players. Amazon had this on sale, I think around Christmas, and it was like half price. So I ordered it. And then the other one I had wanted to get was called Everdell. This one is really pricey. This is Everdell. This one is like enchanted forest theme. Clearly you can see why I was so excited by that theme for my coworker, for her kids' nursery. But like Everdell is essentially an enchanted forest. It's got like creatures. Like it kind of reminds me, even the illustration on the front almost reminds me of like if Beatrix Potter and Lord of the Rings like came together to do a spin-off, you would get this. And this is another, I think this is this also 1 to 4 players? Yeah, 1 to 4 players. So I can, I can just do this. I can do this on my own. And I'm really excited because I was just like, I wanted this game and I'm like, oh, it's so expensive. I can't justify the price. And Justin got it for me for Christmas. So this was my big Christmas gift. I'm so very excited. So just the thing, if you're into board games and you're into like that kind of stuff, those 2 board games you can play, they are 1-player board games. And I didn't really realize that you can get that type of thing. So I have scouted a few more that I might eventually get. But those I thought were really cool. And then last but not least, there was one thing I wanted to share just because we're getting into that time of year where if you're going to start your own seeds, probably need to start thinking about it. I haven't started any yet, so there might be some people yelling at me being, it's going to take longer than that, but I'm a newbie to this. I've never done this just on my own, so I wanted to start some seeds. And my friend, her husband, does a lot of gardening, and he suggested getting this. And the one time we were all out shopping together, all of my friends were out, we went to like Michael's, I think, and he was like, it's on sale. You need to get it now. Like, I've never seen it this inexpensive. I think it was like $15. These are normally like $30. So I got it. And then what you do is it's just a big case and it's got all these smaller cases in it. And you can store your seed packets in here divided by type. And then I was like, oh, I need to get some seeds. Well, they were kind enough when they came to visit us a couple weeks ago. They shared with me some of their extra seeds, and then I had picked up a few seeds. So I've got them all divided. I've only got them divided up in 1/2 right now, but I'm sure this will expand as years go by. And honestly, the main thing I want to start early are peppers and tomatoes. Last year, in the garden, it was very limited because there's one like raised bed that I targeted and I'm like, I'm going to use that. It needs the least amount of work to get it like usable. I'm going to do that. And I planted 3 or 4 tomato plants and then 3 pepper plants, 2 jalapenos and 1 pepperoncini. And I did plant basil. The basil just didn't make it. It got some kind of pest. And I planted corn and it didn't make it. So that was fine. But the tomato and the jalapenos and the pepperoncini went nuts. So for sure, I'm planting in that same bed. I'd like to do a raised bed as well in front of that, in that same area, but I don't know if that'll happen this year or not. And there is a garden area as well, but we need to clean it out. It was just a little weird from the previous owners. We need to basically rip everything out and probably eventually we'll put a greenhouse there, like one of those kits you can get. But that's a down the road when I save money thing. But for now, this is really great. This is super handy. All of my stuff is organized. I could throw like a Sharpie in here or some like popsicle sticks for marking what different things are in here. And it's organized. You don't have to dig. You could label these on the top, like on the thing, so like the label maker. So you don't even have to look to figure out what's in here. But I really like it. So that was the other thing I got. I'm sure there's random tidbits that I could share, or maybe there's a project that I've missed. I don't know. It's been a while since I podcasted, but I figured I would just get this going. Hopefully I'll have some time to edit this and get this out the door because, like I said, I took today off. I was just like, with work, we got there's some new policies rolled out, and I got some extra PTO and a little extra time, and I realized that this year would be the year that I'd have time to just take a day. So I just randomly chose this day on the calendar, and a lot of weird stuff has been happening, or like my car's in the shop, and so like there's been a lot of bumps along the road, but I still was able to have this day, so quite excited about that. It's a beautiful sunny day outside. I don't think I said this, but I live in southern Wisconsin. I am in a small town of Milton, which is just outside of Janesville. It's like a half an hour south of Madison, Wisconsin, for reference. And yeah, so we've been having ice storms and snowstorms, and granted, from what I'm used to, a snowstorm, they're not like bad snowstorms, but they shut everything down here. And then this week, we got an ice storm, which definitely should have shut everything down because I ended up leaving work halfway through the day because it was bad. And we were just like, I need to make sure I get home. So it's been an insane kind of couple of weeks, months, but I'm glad that we're getting into like spring weather where it warms up and the snow melts, and like I can start thinking about ripping some of the stuff out of the garden from the previous owner. We didn't even do anything with it last year. Like we can start thinking about doing stuff and just getting all kinds of stuff done. Captain graduated from his puppy obedience class. I will insert the graduation photo here. There were a few that were a little nicer, but this one takes the cake. And he is currently the work mascot for if you're having a bad day. You see this photo and you don't have a bad day anymore. So I will insert that photo here. Otherwise, everybody's been doing great. The cats have been good. I think one of the last times I podcasted, I had mentioned that lady had gotten very sick, and thankfully, by the grace of God, she has not had anything like that since. So, I mean, we cannot complain. We've been just trying to tidy things up, put up a few shelves, doing a little project here or there, and just enjoying the day-to-day, I think. So with that, I'm rambling. I'm going to leave you. I hope that I can maybe I think I'm going to have to for now. I know Justin has talked to me a lot about this and been like, you should just do it. I mean, and if you like the vlog format, you should do that. But I don't like the editing part of the vlog format because it takes hours, which for me means it takes a set of days because I only have so much time to work on it. So I think we're going to have to just stick with the sit down style for a while until I kind of find my footing. And I'm hoping to do this more often, because I miss it, and I know some of you guys miss it, and so I'd like to just get these back out and rolling. Captain is 10 months, almost 11 months now, so he'll be a year in April. And so for us, like that was like, I think that was a big factor, was just having so much to do with puppy. And so now he's still a puppy, but like the initial insanity of a puppy is a little less, so it's a little more manageable, but it's so fun. It's so fun. But so I think like as long as we can deal with the puppy sounds around when I'm filming, which even though he's still outside, he's got husky in him. He never wants to come in, and it's warm out there right now. But with this, we might be able to get some filming in. So again, rambling. You can find me on Instagram as Tori Schaffner. I'm on Ravelry as lilwestie, lilwestie. I will try to get show notes up on the blog, woolymastodon.wordpress.com. I'm on Facebook. Honestly, I haven't really been active anywhere because I've just been trying to stay off of social media a little bit more because it can be stressful. So how about you just crochet or knit instead of doing that? So I've been doing that. Eventually I might, I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks. Maybe I'll share some of the audiobooks I've been listening to in the upcoming podcasts. Reading a bit more, but for now, I don't update Goodreads, so you can find me there, but I don't really use it. Really rambling. I'm lost and confused. I don't have my groove anymore. So with that, I will leave you. All right. So for finished objects, we'll see if I either add this in before my last finished objects or after. I don't know yet, but we'll see. Editing Tori, let me know what I decide to do. I know you will. But since the last segment that I filmed, I have finished a couple things. Specifically, I knit the little flax sweater for my coworker's baby. She is due in, I think, June. So I just knit a little flax. Super cute. It's got the sun is random. It's got the garter stitched on the sleeves. It's just a little flax sweater. This, in theory, will be a little big for her baby when baby comes. So the goal is that she might be able to wear it this winter. I knit this out of Baby Bee Sweet Delight Toy Elephant Marled. This is from Hobby Lobby, this yarn. It's 100% acrylic, but it is extremely soft. And I knit a blanket for my coworker last year. You might remember that I knit the Northeasterly, and it ended up being that girl's comfort blanket, and she washed it like every week, and she said it held up really well. So can attest from a mom whose kid used a blanket all the time that it can stand up to extra washing, so that's good. I didn't even use a full skein. This is what's left from the skein that I used. So I've got a little bit left. I could definitely knit another one of these if I wanted to. Maybe even two. I don't know. I don't think my gauge was 100% on, so I don't know what technically size this came out to be. And the sleeves look a little long, but I figured she could just roll them up if she needed to. So I knitted a little flex. Super cute. And that is complete. The other thing that I finished would be a bunch of washcloths. I finally cast off, I didn't weave in any of the ends on these, this basket weave washcloth. Sorry, the light's getting really weird. This is a pattern from Pearl Soho, and it's just got, I don't know if it's gonna let me, excuse the lighting for a minute here. Ooh. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but it's like this basket weave pattern. So I finished that, and then this past week it's been warm. It's been in the 80s, so I've been sitting on the deck and I knit a bunch of dishcloths. So I knit a green one, a yellow one. I knit two turquoise ones. I haven't actually woven the ends on either of the turquoise ones yet, and I have started another one. So I've knit a bunch of these. I realized I needed a few, so I have this yarn in my stash, so I just started knitting them. So that is the finished objects. Then I have a mostly finished object. I'm starting to think I will probably add this in later, because then it'll tie in and it'll make more sense. So I'm going to scoop back. I gotta make sure I don't have any girls' cats are in here. But I finished the body of this weird cardigan that I was crocheting. In the footage you'll see earlier, I didn't even have all the squares completed. This cardigan now has sleeves. It has a collar. The reason why I say it is mostly finished is because the bottom, I don't know how to end it. I feel like maybe an edging and some fringe, but is that too much? I don't know. And I don't know. Let me just put this on quick so you can kind of see. It's super oversized. It's actually super comfy, but like it's a cardigan. I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know how much wear I'll get out of it, but it's nice and cozy, and it was fun to make. And it's all using Red Heart yarn that I had in stash. And yeah, I knit the sleeves and I knit the collar. Pick up and knit the sleeves and picked up and knit the collar. And everything else is crocheted. And like I said, it needs an edging at the base of the sweater. And I'm thinking, since it's already kind of chaotic, Do I just like even it off with a single crochet border and then put fringe on it? I don't know yet. But either way, she is pretty much done. So this was no pattern used. I just winged it. I did look online at some people who also winged it, and then they kind of laid out their blocks and kind of showed how they did it, and then I kind of took it from there and did my own thing. So that is pretty much almost completely done. So we will move into works in progress. Oh, what have I got? What's squeaking? Somebody's squeaking. I would say, well, let's just do this little one first. I still haven't assembled the unicorn. So that's a work in progress. And then I'm also knitting another dishcloth. This is a pattern that I got out of a Learn to Knit book years ago. I don't even know what the book's name is at this point anymore. Oops, it's in the middle of a row. But I am knitting another dishcloth just in that green, and I've got it in my little knitting dishcloth bag. I don't know why, I've just always used this bag for knitting dishcloths. So got a bunch of yarn in here and my needles, and yeah, I've been working on those while I was sitting on the deck because it was really warm this week, and I think it's supposed to cool off this next week. So maybe I'll pick up my other work in progress, which I really need to, because I am knitting a blanket. Random family members. Look away. This is a blanket. It's going to be for someone. I will not say who just yet. But Justin came up with the idea. He wanted it to be like a sunset. And I am knitting it. It's just a giant garter stitch blanket. This is knit out of acrylic yarn. I'm using the Hobby Lobby I Love This yarn. And then I am using a whole bunch of colors. I started out with this dark green or dark blue, and honestly I like this side better because it fades a little more. So this is technically the back side, but then it goes into a deep turquoise, a lighter turquoise, an even lighter turquoise, and now we're into this like seafoam green. And then let me just make sure I'm not losing my stitches. And yeah, I'm kind of like fading it from color to color, so striping it, but I like the wrong side of the garter because it mixes a little better. It doesn't look like straight up stripes. But the goal is, this is going to look like a sunset. So I'm on this color. And then I don't think I decided which color I was going to do next. It was either going to be this yellow, and the sun is doing its thing again. Figure it out. Okay. It's either going to be this pink, which is cherry blossom, or it's going to be sun gold. I haven't decided which one is coming next. And then I have all the other colors. Excuse me for the crinkle, I have it in a bag so that it doesn't get attacked. But then from there, we'll go to this orange, which is burnt pumpkin, a vivid red, which is just red, and then a deep burgundy, which is called aubergine. This doesn't look like aubergine because this does not look like an eggplant, but it's a deep red. And then I got this one. I don't know if I'll use it. The Struggle is teal. It's a cool yarn. If I don't use it for this project as like a border or something, I might not. I might decide to do something else, but I got 2 skeins of this. I'll use it for something because I think it's cool. But yeah, I've been working on a blanket. The Hobby Lobby I Love This yarn is softer than Red Heart, but it washes well like Red Heart does, and it's 100% acrylic. So I decided to go with this because I knew I could go in store. I had to go in store and pick the yarn out because I was just kind of going from a sketch that I did to pick out my colors. So I went in store, picked out all the yarns, and got going. So this has been on hold this week just because it's been a little too toasty to knit it, but it's supposed to cool off this weekend, so as in this afternoon with storms, and then tomorrow. So hopefully I'll get back into this. And right now it is literally living in a Woodman's tote bag because this thing is amazing and it's huge. So shout out to Woodman's. I love them, this grocery store. They're great. And we're gonna take a drink. I think that's all the work in progress I have because I've really been trying to knock out that blanket. And I've been knitting a lot on dishcloths. And then the other thing, I did start the Knititude cable crush joggers. I got pretty far. I got almost the entire like waistband down to the crush done. And I tried them on and realized I knit them at least 2 sizes too large. So I ripped those out, and that is currently in timeout because I'm mad at it. It's not the pattern's fault. It's 100% my fault. I didn't fully check my gauge properly, and I kind of checked it, and then I was like, good enough, it's fine. And I knit 2 sizes larger than I should have because my brain is mean to me sometimes, and I didn't need to knit the largest size. It was way too big. And yes, sweatpants are supposed to be baggy, but this was like, this isn't going to stay up. I don't care how tight I pull the drawstring. It's not going to stay up. So anyway, I did that. And actually, I'm looking at this here. This is really random. But I also made like a little wristlet for my keychain. I just crocheted it. I didn't macrame it, but for my keys, because it's really lightweight, and then I can hold on to it and I don't have to worry about adding a whole bunch of weight. So I did do that. No pattern for this. I just winged it, and then I used like the macrame knot to make it look fancy. But I did that. You know, there's one other thing I made. I made a macrame, tiny little mini plant, cheap from Dollar Tree macrame holder. So I used some of the white leftover cotton from this, and I made a little macrame holder to hold a tiny little plant about this big, and then I brought it to work. It's just a fake plant from the Dollar Tree, and it actually looks really cute, and my coworkers asked me if it was an air plant, so that tells you that they thought it was a real plant. I didn't think that that plant even looked that good, but it's really cute, and I have it at my desk, so I have some kind of plant. But other than that, I think that's all works in progress. So I'm going to reset everything, regroup, and we'll move on to a couple stash enhancements and then a few things I just want to show you, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I have some stash enhancements. Didn't really buy a whole lot of yarn other than I bought all the yarn for that blanket, but I didn't have the stuff I needed in stash to make that. So thankfully that's just all yarn that is coming into the stash long enough for me to knit the blanket, and then it's leaving the house. So I don't really call that a stash enhancement, although I did realize that a while ago I forgot to include this in the earlier footage I filmed. I had this then already. I had gotten some other yarn from Hobby Lobby. This is the authentic hand-dyed yarn bee, and this is color Hibiscus Palm. And then this color is Peaceful Paradise. And I think they're really pretty. I don't think I really can use this in socks because, yeah, it's 100% superwash. I mean, it is superwash, but I'd wear through them. But these will probably go into a shawl at some point. These are really pretty. I could even almost use these together, but super bright, super fun. And then I got a whole bunch of yarn from my coworker. I don't think she watches this, but Jackie, if you ever watch this podcast, thank you. She shared a whole bunch of yarn with me, so I'm so excited to use these. She did some magic knot balls, and this one is all, I think, is it called Lion Brand Homespun? And she wasn't a fan of it because crocheting this stuff is excessively difficult. I get it. I don't like crocheting with this, but knitting with it, I don't mind at all. And if I don't know if you guys remember, but I knit, is it called the Ursa sweater by Jacqueline Cieslak in Lion Brand Homespun from Stash. I love that sweater. It's super warm though. I can only wear it occasionally when it's got to be cold enough for me to wear it. But I like it, and I've gotten a lot of compliments on it. But this is a magic ball, knot ball of all homespun yarn and homespun? I think that's what it's called. So I have no idea what's in here, but I might be knitting this into like a little blanket. We'll see. I think it'll be fun. And then there was another one. Ladies under bed. There's another one. And then this is just all, I got something in there. Just acrylics, I believe. Just all kinds. So again, I think this is destined for another like scrap blanket. So we'll see. And then, because, you know, there wasn't enough yarn there already, I'm so excited about this stuff. This over here. Yes, and yes, I haven't taken this out of the bag, and I've had this for a while. But she gave me an entire bag of all kinds of yarn. There's all kinds of stuff in here. There's some like skeins of, some full skeins. Like this could be a great crocheted like stuffy, because this is like that chenille yarn, crushed velvet, but it doesn't look like it's gonna disintegrate like the chenille yarns of old did. There's just like some random, there's like Thick and Quick, there's Hometown USA. I think this might actually be a hand spun yarn that's been balled up, and it's gorgeous. Not sure what I'll use this for yet, but I'm pretty sure this is somebody hand spun this, and it's beautiful. But yeah, there's all kinds of yarn here. So I've got a big old bag of yarn, and I've got a lot of ideas, but I was about to dig into there and start something, and then I ended up having to start that blanket. So that kind of sidetracked me. But I believe other than that, that is all the stash enhancements I have. Other than, oh yeah, at the same time, a while ago, not when I went to get the yarn for the blanket, when I got those skeins of hand-dyed yarn, I crocheted Justin that cow, and then I also got the kit. He wanted the sloth, so I've got the kit here. I need to make the sloth. Plant not included, so I'll have to find like a dollar store plant and throw it in here, but I got the sloth. The sun is going really weird, so we'll see, but yeah, I need to crochet that. Then I've got a few random things to share. Not even that much, but this is a random one. But I was watching an art video, and if I can get this out of the pouch, they were talking about fill your own watercolor palettes, and like mini ones. And so I went on Amazon, and I got the tiniest little fill your own watercolor palette. Can you kind of see? There you go. Gotta block the sunlight from like, there you go. And then you use the lid's like a palette. So I'm gonna fill this, and we have a trip in August. I might bring this with me then. And then it came with a little water brush, although I already have 3 water brushes at my desk even, so it just came with it. It was $10, so I didn't really mind, but I've already got a couple, but it came with one. And then it came with extra pans, which I've got off to the side, so you know, if I wanted to fill all these little pans with colors and I wanted to swap them out, I could. So I'm going to fill this up maybe later today. And it all goes in this little pouch. It's super compact. I mean, if I really only would need that one brush, and this would be my painting kit. And then to go with it, I went on Amazon and I thought, well, you know, a silicone cup would be handy. So I ended up just ordering like a silicone water cup. It's got a lid. I mean, I wouldn't leave the lid on it and hope the water would stay in, because it's not that snug. But it's super compact. So like literally, wow, I can't even fold this down right now. But in theory, this would be your entire painting set. Look how compact that is, and it's super light. So super excited about that. But other than that, I think that's about all I've got. So we can just move into life lately, and this will be probably more accurate than what you heard before, because it's been probably at least a month. Did I film that footage in April even? Or in February? Or beginning of March, and it's April 15th, so I don't know. But we've been spending a lot of time outside, because this past week and last weekend was really nice. There is no snow on the ground here, although it's supposed to snow a little bit on like Monday, but it'll melt right away because then it's supposed to be 60 again. But there's no snow. Everything is blooming. My chives are up. I have asparagus as of today popped, and some of it's ready to harvest. Daffodils all over the place. I cleaned out. The house we bought last year had a garden bed, and they had a lot of like garbage, and I understand that they put carpets down to like keep weeds up, but they had been there a long time, and it was just, I didn't like that area. It made me anxious, and it was to the point where I just wanted it, like, I didn't even want to use the area. I just wanted it gone. So it was a cooler day, and I went out and I cleaned it out. And now I'm going to plant stuff in it because I've decided I'm not mad at it anymore because it's completely clean and it's a good area and it's already fenced in. So we did that, and then I got a couple of raised beds. So I've got 2 additional raised beds plus the one that I planted in last year that was already here. So those are in, and yeah, we're just kind of, this year I think we're definitely slowly making the yard ours. We got a grill, which is really exciting. We used it last night for the first time, and I grilled way more vegetables, considering too that I'm the only one that's going to eat them, and I grilled, I think I had 12 skewers worth of vegetables, so I will be freezing some of that, and I'm excited. But yeah, we've just been soaking up all the time in the backyard. Captain has absolutely loved it. The neighbor girl's been over a few times to play with him outside. He's loved it. Oh my goodness. But yeah, we've just been spending all the time outside. It's been glorious. Oh, random. I got new glasses frames. I've finally tried Zenny, which is a online site. And I've been wearing these for several weeks now. I could wear my other ones too. There's nothing wrong with them, but I wanted to really test these out. I really like them. They've got flowers along the side, so they're kind of crazy, but I love them. The frames were really cheap. The frames were like $12, and then the lenses made it like 40. But compared to how much they cost at a regular optometrist, I could do that. And then I even got a pair of prescription sunglasses, which was exciting because I've never had those before. So those are over there, but they've been getting a lot of use because it's been so sunny. But yeah, other than that, we like literally working and then going outside and spending a lot of time outside. Has been glorious. So I think with that, it's really starting to cloud over. So I sense the storms might be moving in earlier than they said. Although they did say I think one could come in around 3 o'clock, but still a little too soon for that. So I'm gonna wrap this up before the lighting gets even weirder. And hopefully I can actually edit this and you might see this in the next couple days. Shock of shocks. Yeah. It's going to be a long one, so I really better sign this off now. If you liked the video, please like it. Subscribe if you want to. I understand I haven't been putting much out, and definitely not consistently. So again, if you don't want to, but if you want to, subscribe, share it with your friends, comment below. I'd love to hear from you. You can find me on Instagram as Tori Schaffner. I normally am most active there, but honestly, I've kind of been on a bit of a social media hiatus for posting. I've posted occasionally, but for the most part, I'm just lurking. I'm on Facebook as Victoria Schaffner and also Woolly Mastodon. Show notes are still on the blog, woolymastodon.wordpress.com. I'll try to put something together, but I don't know how much I'll be able to throw together for show notes if I want to get this out quickly. I'm on Ravelry as lilwestie. I do try to update my projects there, bare minimum. So in theory, that should be somewhat recent. But yeah, we've just kind of been focusing on the house and just enjoying being a homeowner. So yeah, with that, I will see you in another video. Not sure when that'll come out, but hopefully sooner rather than later. I hope you have a fantastic spring, and that if you have snow, that it will start melting eventually. And if you don't have snow, that it's not a bazillion degrees and you can't go outside and enjoy it. Like, I hope it's seasonable. With that, I hope you have a great week. I'll see you next time. Bye.